So, welcome to the fourth lesson of Streetwise Chinese. I'm doing this because I feel like what you have learned in textbook, maybe in school or in the institutions, are not necessarily what's the everyday life of the Chinese people, how they speak. And I'm from Beijing, and I'm gonna teach you some Beijingnese, and which is also understandable throughout China. And if you want to learn more authentic Chinese expressions, you should definitely watch the video. So without further ado, let's start. So today's lesson, I'm just gonna tell you some expressions of what's highlighted from the text. And so the first of all, how do you call somebody chief or manager? 总. You add the third name and then you add 总. If you're a vice chief manager, you add one more word, 张, 副总. However, in China, you don't really say somebody's vice or not. You just say 总 as a general expression. 哪阵风把您给吹到这儿来了? You should be familiar with this already. What wind blew you over here? How come I met you here? Like, you should understand that Chinese language, especially the streets language, are meant to express more feelings in terms of emphasizing. Like some words in the expression, you must emphasize it to make it more funny, to make it to show your feeling more, and to emphasize your surprise, so your emotions in general. And a lot of them are metaphoric. So here, the more exaggerated way would be 哪阵风把您给吹到这儿来了? You see, 哪阵风 emphasize here, 把您给吹到这儿来了 emphasize again here. 你可是大忙人. Even the text they say very conveys emphasis on the following words. 可那儿人可真多. There's so many people, and you want to emphasize so many, very many. So you must accentuate three words. 那儿人可真多. Something like that. 我当是谁呢? 我当是谁呢? I was wondering, what is this? This is a fixed expression. After the speaker realizes who the person in question is. For example, 我当是谁呢? 原来是他呀. Oh, it's him. I was wondering who this is. For example, if you recognize somebody suddenly and you say, 我当是谁呢? 原来是他呀. 还张总的. 还 even say is to express feelings. 还张总的. The feeling is kind of unexpected. You shouldn't be so polite. And this also can be used in a sarcastic way. For example, when you hear somebody saying, calling somebody in a very complimenting way, you can say to your other friends that 这人还张总的叫. So these people even say him chief. So it's like kind of sarcastic. 快别逗了. Don't tease me. 这么冷的天还要去游泳? 别逗了. You want to swim in such a cold weather? Come on, don't tease me. You see the emphasis here when you want to express it more feelings. You say 去游泳. Shocking. 别逗了. Don't kid me. 这年头 these days is a fixed expression. 这年头汽油那么贵，你就别旅行了. These days the gas so expensive. You just don't go for traveling. 那伙人 this crowd people. And sometimes this can contain negative connotation. 那伙人是干什么的呀？ What is these people for? 那伙人是从哪儿来的？ Where does this band of guys come from? 咱哥们儿谁跟谁呀？咱哥们儿 And if you expand it in a longer expression, 咱们哥们儿俩 And shorter one, 咱哥们儿谁跟谁呀？ Who is he talking to whom? Especially when you paying the bills, you say you're kind of like pushing each other. No, I pay. No, I do it. And you say 咱俩谁跟谁呀？你就不用付钱了。Who are we? Who are we to whom? You just don't need to pay this. And this is a kind of interesting because one word, if you just see 星 stands for popular. And you just, one word sometimes can express the whole sentence, can give the meaning of the whole sentence. If you expand it in a more formal expression, you say 这还you would say 还实行叫这个，还流行叫这个。But here in this context, is also the same meaning. For example, 这儿不兴穿长裙。People here don't wear long skirt. 你大小也是个老总。At the very least, big, small, big, whatever small, you are a manager. 当着大伙儿 which means the crowd. 当着 in front of. More formal, 你哪能在大伙面前叫你的小名？ So this is again is colloquial form. 那怕什么的 What is there to be afraid of? 你是说他不愿意参加？那怕什么的？没有他，咱们也能做好。Are you saying she doesn't want to join us? It doesn't matter. We can do well without her. 再怎么也得有个说法。This is also very frequently used expression. No matter what. 再怎么你们也得去。You have to go no matter what happens. You see, like this is a very ordering form. Like it's not sometimes the colloquium is not so polite. It's more of direct way of saying. And this is also kind of the character traits of Chinese colloquium language. 别扭 I mentioned in the last class. Weird, awkward, uncomfortable. 别扭 is more like twisted together, the literal translation. So when you imagine how it twisted together, how it's uncomfortable, how it's you want to avoid it, and that is expression. 还就得叫你张总，还就得 and 就 and 得 have to 这活儿谁也干不了，还就得我去。Nobody else can do the job. I have to do it. 得 You see, this is a multi-expression word. You can say 得 You can say 得 when it's to indicate approval or prohibition. 得别再说了 This is a prohibition. Okay, stop. 得 That's enough. 爱叫什么就叫什么 Do whatever you like. 爱就叫裙子啊 This is a interjection that's to use to ask opinions. Like this in English. 那没说的 nothing to discuss, needless to say, naturally. 那没说的你只管叫 feel free to do something. 既然你喜欢就尽管去买了 This is more like a formal one and more colloquial. You would say 既然你喜欢就只管买好了 And these are some vocabulary maybe you could remember or maybe you already know. Okay, let's start. 商场上班聊阿姨顺便礼拜 Actually, this has another meaning that when somebody going to church every week, you also say 礼拜, which used as a noun. Or verb. 请客同乡单位办事碰到盲人咱哥们儿 When you say buddies like gals with sisters, you say 姐们儿师傅小名儿 So these are some exercise if you would like to do it. It's like a revision. The next class, we're going to talk about greeting and addressing people. I hope you enjoy the lesson.